Yes, not bad, mate. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Yes.
Living the dream.
Living the dream, mate. Living the dream.
Yeah.
Summertime, man. Yeah.
I know, right? Nah, getting there, mate. Another day in sunshine.
That's
You know
it.
what's it? It's nice over here. The sun's out. It's pretty mad. It's almost like the sixth month of the year already.
Yeah. We've flown by, haven't we?
What's happened? Okay.
I still remember speaking to you the first time, which I think was in what, February
I
when we
know.
first
I
spoke?
know. It's great. End of February,
End of
close to
February. So
23rd. I think we had.
yeah. So really and truly we've been going what, March, April, about 10 weeks, something like that. If that.
Yeah, 10 weeks. I think. Yes, I think that's pretty much spot on, Luke.
Have you been getting on
I
anyway?
no. We went to so decent. Well, you know what it was? I think for a few days, for a little while, I think my kind of outreach method that's been going all right kind of
Yeah.
dried up a bit in
Yeah.
terms of getting responses back from like actual landlords and stuff.
Yeah.
I was still doing the normal outreach.
Yeah.
Uh, I just wasn't getting as many responses. So then I'm trying to go through the agency aspect and actually speaking to
Yeah.
agents and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I tell you what, you need patience. You need patience speaking to agents. Like,
You need patience. Yeah, that's one of the things you need. Yeah, and a very good temperament.
ah, you do. Honest to God, I feel like I don't know about you, but I feel like the best way because I've just been getting shut down by a lot of agents, and
Yeah,
I think it's just best to not even tell them what the crack is.
yeah,
Like, just
yeah,
get them to the point where you just get
yeah. I think that's best. The less you say, the better. Really.
because I'm getting initial interest in telling them that I'm wanting a property, blah blah
Yeah,
blah, and is it
yeah,
available?
yeah,
And then when it's for the company, then all of a sudden you've got all of these jumps and hurdles to
yeah,
get
yeah,
over.
yeah, yeah, yeah. For sure. I think best to go for the viewing. I think I've had times where I've arranged a viewing with the agent, and then the landlords ended up meeting me at the viewing.
What he's the one agent turned up.
Yeah, the landlords turned up sometimes rather than the agent.
Oh right, okay.
And a little
The
trick
landlord.
Yeah, a little trick I've used in
Yeah.
the past is sometimes I book them like after five. I'll say I can't make it till after five or after six sometimes. And if they're quite desperate to get it rented, they clock off
Mm,
at that time, don't they? But they'll tell the
yeah.
landlord, they'll say to the landlord, look, I've got someone who wants to view it, but he can't view it until six. Sometimes the
Yeah.
landlord will just go and meet you. You know what I mean? And then you're in front of the decision maker then.
Yeah. That is such a good point. Or just any time on a Friday, they just
Yeah,
won't
any
turn
time
up.
on a Friday because they're looking to pack it in and go out on the town, didn't they, and call it a day. So they don't really want to do
Yeah.
any work.
Uh, well, that's it. I mean, other than that, I mean, I've got a viewing tomorrow.
Yeah,
I've got
good.
another viewing tomorrow.
hmm
Um,
I personally think you're probably past speaking to agents now. I think you've kind of the reason we tell people to speak to agents is just to get the cobwebs off, you break the ice and practice,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and just get
yeah.
used to getting rejection because
Mm,
you need to get used to that in business anyway. And I think
yeah,
this is just a
yeah.
good way of the first 10 weeks you should be speaking with agents. But I kind of feel like how close you've gone a couple times now. I think that we're
Mm,
kind of past speaking with agents. I feel like if something pops up and it looks good, then give them a call. But I think the majority of your outreach now should be Gumtree, Facebook, and I think you should send some letters out.
yeah,
I think that should be
yeah.
where most of
I
your
think we're
work
gonna go.
goes.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. We're gonna go with the second round of letters. I think this time to. I've got them. She's doing that aspect. I started
Yeah.
paying her money to do it. That got her more motivated. Yeah,
Smart move, bro.
yeah, yeah. So that got her. Um, so that should be decent. But
And open rent.
yeah,
What's your strategy been when you're going to open rent? Have you just been going for the viewing, or have you been telling them that you're a company and using the
yeah,
company?
yeah. I've been telling them I'm a company through,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, the message.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I
So
think
I'm
uh,
about to change that now because I've realized that isn't working.
for
So
open rent, they're shutting you down, aren't they?
yeah, and the thing is,
So
that's annoying about it is you wouldn't even know that they're shutting you down. They don't even tell you. So I think you're
mm,
kind of getting shadow banned. So what I've had to do is
Yeah.
I've made up two new accounts now. So then I've set one up in my missus' name, fresh account, haven't verified it or anything like that, just a very simple setup account.
Mm,
And I've been messaging as her as Jay, and
mm,
we're getting like loads of responses back.
really.
Yeah, so I think you might want to set up a brand new account,
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I.
and start from scratch because they're not
Mm,
going to tell you if you're being like shadow banned. They just won't show your messages to the landlords, basically.
mm.
So I
Which
think you
makes
should.
zero sense, does it?
I don't know why they just put off by companies, but they see it as some sort of spam. I don't know.
Well, this one tomorrow, it's a four bed,
Yeah.
and it's like 850.
Okay. Good.
Um, so I'm going to go view that one tomorrow, and
Yeah.
I mean, it looks reasonable. It looks decent enough. It's one of those where you can tell it's the landlord, like he's taking photos through his
Yeah. Yeah.
mobile kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Um, but it looked reasonable enough.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see
Yeah.
when we go down.
Yeah.
But I was happy to get one because I've been having conversations with agents and people like that, but I've
Yeah.
not been getting to the viewing. So
Yeah.
I'll be happy to go back down
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
see the crackling
Yeah.
down. And
I mean, we're super close, bro. You know, if we say we're 10 weeks into it now, we're still not even, that's like a third of the way through the program, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm very happy with your progress so far. I think we've come very close. I think
mm,
if we had closed maybe on that first deal where the guy was driving up from
I
London, that was maybe an opportunity that we may have missed. Maybe.
Yes, I mean it's a valid point, mate, and I think I've told you this already. I think at that point, and I think it's not to the same extent. I think the ability to visualize something that in the moment doesn't
Yeah,
look that great
of
to
course.
seeing it. I feel like that's the disparity I was
Yeah,
in
yeah,
there from
yeah.
seeing it looking not that great.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
um,
And
which
then
is where yeah.
the second one that came along that we found, we just missed
That
out on
one.
that one.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Sorry. Yeah. So we missed out on that one because he got a tenant, didn't he? He
Yeah,
was the one who was being quite initially a bit.
yeah.
He
Pushy.
wanted me. He wanted to take me on without having a viewing, didn't he?
Yeah, that did sound a bit shady. So we might have dodged the bullet there. We never know. But
So that guy, I think, is legit because he's come up on my Facebook as well, and that
okay,
is his thing.
okay.
I think, and he's got other properties.
Yeah,
So I'll keep on pestering him. Like I
yeah.
actually messaged him back, and he was like, "Who are you?" And
Cheers.
that's,
I
that's
thought we were
insane.
mates.
I know that's what I was like, mate. Like go up the. You said literally stay in touch,
Mm.
and he's like, "Oh, it's you." And then and we had a little bit of a chat anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Keep following
so
up. Keep following up.
yeah. And the other thing is with that Sam guy, the first guy, he's
Yeah,
actually got some other properties that have come up.
yeah,
Um, so I'll stay in touch with him as well.
yeah,
But
yeah. Follow up.
yeah,
Follow up, dude. It's I can't underplay the follow up. It's so important. It's so underrated. You know, you got to chase
mm,
people up a week later, a couple of weeks later, and just let them know that your offer's still on the table because
yeah,
they've already got to know you a bit. They've already taken a bit of a liking to you. You're not in
mm,
the cold lead bracket. You're now in like the more of a warmer person who they already have a bit of a rapport with. So you've already done 50% of the work. You just need to keep
yeah,
keep the offer on the table. And
yeah,
if it didn't work for the first one, then it should work for the next one. So if he's got more, I'd fire into him, man. I'd WhatsApp him. I'd say, I'll come and have a look, and
mm,
I'll happily make you an offer.
yeah,
There's no harm in doing
definitely.
that. We've come very close on a couple of times now. So I think the next sort
Mm.
of couple of weeks, I'm expecting something to happen soon for you. You know?
Yeah, 100%. Hopefully, mate. I mean, that's the. I guess the work has to be done. I think it's the consistency of the effort.
Yeah, of
Other than that,
course, of
yeah,
course. I
yeah,
think how you spend your time is going to be key over the next couple of weeks. So I think I think we should remove the agents for now,
mm, yeah.
and I think we should be focusing solely on Gumtree
Mm.
and on Open Rent with the new strategy that I've just discussed with you.
I like that strategy as well.
Yeah,
To be honest, I'll do the exact same as what you've done.
literally copy. Yeah, I'm going to put it into the program, but you get a chance to get ahead of everyone else and start copying it now. Literally just
'Cause
download the brochure as a PDF. It's going to
yeah,
have the bits and bobs about the business. Should have the table that you've got on there with the
yeah,
comparison of the numbers,
yeah,
and you should
yeah,
have your contact information on there as well, like of how to get hold
yeah.
of you. And
Yeah.
if you go and put that in 10 to 20 landlords' hands,
Mm.
someone's gonna, two or four of them is gonna want to have a conversation at least,
Everyone's you're going to be getting loads of viewings with that.
Yeah,
Um, yeah,
yeah.
you should
Well,
get.
that's
Yeah.
what we need, isn't it? That's what we need because we have to view as many as possible so that we can find the right
Mm.
ones, and
Well, yeah.
if that means going on 20 viewings and 16 of them are like, no, I don't want companies, but four of them are like, I'll have a read of
Mm.
this. And then
Yeah.
you have a couple more conversations with those four, and all of a sudden you got a few deals on your table.
Mm. So just to be so with that one, obviously we're gonna. I'll do the same as you. I'll probably just
Yeah,
set it up as with my last details, and then
yeah,
so obviously still me turning up, but just with the brochure details, and at
yeah,
some point disclose the fact that look,
yeah. Towards the end.
yeah,
Yeah, you have a
to
look, make a little video if you need to remember
yeah,
bits and bobs about it. And then if the landlord's being chatty and having a good conversation with you, then drop it in. If it feels natural, then say, yeah,
yeah,
well, it would be a company, or, would you be open to a long-term sort of agreement? This would work really well for my business. You drop it in like
yeah,
that, and you see
yeah,
you see how it goes. It's going to be a much more believable face to face as opposed to being on the phone to them.
yeah, yeah. No, I could see that one. I could see that one kicking off. To be
Yeah,
fair,
I think so. I think so. Because what are the estate agents doing? They're going to give brochures and leaflets to landlords and putting them through their letterboxes to try and get their tenant
well,
fine
exactly.
fees and their management fees. So we've got to play the game, haven't we?
Well, that's it. And
So
most landlords who are unaware aren't going to think much different. Other, it's like
no, they're
someone
just
who's giving them money.
yeah. But different to the estate agent, they're going to see. Well, hold on, this guy's going to guarantee my rent. He's going to pay for 6% maintenance every month. He's going to
Mm,
increase the rent by 6% every year as well. Like now, it's starting to look like a much better offer than any estate agent could ever offer me. No void
mm,
periods, no fees. These are all things that are going to be on your brochure. So
yeah.
it definitely paints a better picture. And
Mm.
I think you should focus on doing that. I mean, even if you haven't got the brochures made yet, you could just give them a business card. You
We've
could
got the
give,
brochures made. They're on the website. Aye.
yeah, we'll just download them
The
at
one.
one of them internet cafes. The ones
Yeah.
where you just download them, get
Yeah.
the print, bind it,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and get 20 of them, and just that's what I've done. Posted 20 of them up to the lady, and her job now is to get rid of those 20 brochures. And then when she gets rid of them, I'm going to send her 20 more.
Yeah. Good man.
Basically.
I like it. I like it. Yeah. I think I see it. I'm already behind that one. I'll jump on that one straight. Just Gumtree's been my main thing. So I
Yeah,
think I'll do Gumtree that open. We'll set up a new account on Open Red and
yeah,
start doing some Facebook outreach as
yeah,
well.
definitely,
Um, so I
definitely.
like the fact that we're going directly to the
Yeah, let's
person.
let's let's scrap the agents now. I think you're past that now. You've done 10 weeks.
Yeah.
You spoke to all the agents probably that you've heard all their rubbish. You've had a lot of
Yeah.
their. You don't need to be going through that anymore. You don't need to put yourself through
Yeah.
that anymore.
No, 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 no. Half of them sound depressed as well on the
Yeah, they're
phone.
just they're just they're just not what we need right now. They're watching
Mm.
the clock, trying to just get through the day. We're trying to actually get things done and make some moves, and
Mm.
do some good business. And I just think they're going to slow you down. So
Yeah,
the cobwebs are off. We've got the stabilizers off now. We're cycling. We're moving now. Let's get rid of the agent.
exactly.
Get rid of the agents. Focus on Gumtree. Focus on Open Rent.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maybe
Well,
send some more letters
yeah,
out.
100%.
Maybe change
Yes.
the letter campaign. Maybe if you sent, what was the last letter campaign you sent? Was it the renters' right bill, or was you pushing on just the general services?
Yeah, so essentially it was a combination of both.
Yeah,
It was a mixture of both of them. I gave her like the because I printed off all the I went to the
yeah,
library once and
yeah,
printed off absolutely everything on the program.
yeah,
So I gave her the sheets and it was a mixture of both, and I
yeah,
highlighted like stuff to put in.
yeah,
Um, but I think that was when we were manually putting it. Oh, because I didn't tell you actually. Well, not that it's even that important, but
yeah,
I ended up getting the register from the Newcastle Council, but I complained about the way they'd handled it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
they gave me the money back as well.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, I got me 50 quid back.
That's the least they can do, man.
Yeah, I just chucked in some big words and said that
Yeah,
everything
well,
just, yeah.
you're not
Well, they
wrong.
did to me. They did. They did because I was like, look, it's been you've given me. It's been a complete misrepresentation of like what you're actually going to send me,
Yeah,
and you just completely wasted me time.
yeah,
Like, I want to make
yeah,
a complaint or
yeah,
alternatively send me my money back.
yeah. Fair
So they
play.
did.
Fair play.
Aye,
That pays for
aye.
the
So
Chinese on the weekend.
Yeah, yeah. I was happy with that.
Of
I was like,
course.
give me
A
like
win's a
that.
win. Win's a win, mate.
Yeah, yeah. Because they sent me a document, Luke. Honestly, it was about 700 pages.
Yeah.
You were like, good luck. But
Yeah.
if you scroll down, if you keep on doing it, you'll
Yeah.
see like the landlord. Once you get
Yeah.
the landlord personal address, then all of
Yeah.
the next 50 page, they're
Yeah.
all like the. So it was legit. It's
Yeah.
good enough.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. For sure.
So
So I think we
so
should narrow down on those three tactics at the moment: open rent, Gumtree, and the letters. Um,
yeah.
I know you didn't really want to travel too far, but have you maybe thought about maybe looking in a different council, maybe to see if you could try your luck somewhere else where?
No, no, honestly, mate, I've not been holding that back. I've been like, if it's Sunderland, Newcastle, Durham, Blythe,
Yeah,
I've got. I'm
yeah,
I'm just posting them out. I'm
yeah,
not. I'm not like. I'll not go there. I feel
yeah,
like I'll rather say, look, it's the deal's not worth it, kind of
yeah,
thing. Once
yeah, 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 for sure.
hopefully it goes well tomorrow, and if the numbers, I mean, I guess we'll just see. I'll get when
Yeah,
I meet them tomorrow, see who
yeah. I
turns up.
mean, 4 bed for 850 seems pretty fair for the price
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
And if off the top of our heads, if we could get 550 a room, something along
Mm.
those sort of lines, you're going to bring in 2,200.
The numbers seem to be half decent. Yeah,
Seems pretty
yeah,
good, take
yeah,
400 off for bills. You're going to be left with a nice 800 a month, aren't you?
yeah. Well, exactly, exactly. I feel like I'm getting most of me interest from Durham at the minute.
Yeah,
That's why I want to get these letters out to
yeah,
Newcastle.
yeah,
Um, and in the next, well, I've got a day off tomorrow, so I'm
yeah,
gonna I'm gonna bash that out tomorrow.
yeah,
Hopefully send them out. So it'll
yeah,
take a bit of time for them to come back, but
yeah. Go for it, mate. I do think in the smaller pocket areas, like the markets within the market, so to speak, like maybe that's where
mm,
the opportunity is. Because now what I'm finding is now we're working sort of 20 miles away, which is where my houses that I bought are in the valleys,
yeah,
and they're a bit less developed than Newport. The
yeah,
landlords are a bit more open to it because they haven't necessarily heard of it loads. They haven't been pitched by loads of people every week. Loads of kids have just
mm,
watched it on YouTube. So you're almost like a bit
yeah,
more of a breath of fresh air. Once they have a
yeah,
conversation with you, they're like, okay, this sounds pretty good. I haven't heard about this before.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
think maybe going in those smaller places, areas within the Newcastle area and on the outskirts or
Mm,
inside it that are just not right next to the city centre, for example,
yeah,
that
yeah,
might be
yeah.
where the opportunity is because that's what I'm finding at the moment. Like I'm not really even
Mm,
looking in Newport anymore.
really.
I'm looking
Uh,
up in the valleys where my houses are because
mm,
that's where we're getting the inquiries from railway workers that are building the railways to extend the railway tracks and
yeah.
engineers that are looking to move and doctors that are moving to hospitals because those areas are becoming developed now, like how Newport
Mm,
was 5 years ago.
right. Okay.
If you
Yeah.
can find those areas that are on the come up that are a little bit more rural,
Yeah.
but they're being developed, that's where you're going to get the perfect tenants, but also you're going to have those landlords who are a bit more open to it as well, and you probably get cheaper prices as well.
Yeah. No, it makes complete sense. It makes
Yeah,
complete sense.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I'll definitely we'll keep on smashing the outreach, mate, and
yeah, yeah.
uh,
I'm sure you.
number.
I'm confident you'll be doing that for sure, mate. I just think let's narrow down on forgetting about the agents. Just focus on Gumtree, Open Rent, and the letters.
Mm,
Let's concentrate on that for the next week or so. Hopefully, the viewing goes well tomorrow. Drop me a WhatsApp and let me know how it goes.
I will, mate. I will.
But yeah, I think we're getting very close, mate. I think we should definitely be targeting these sort of 3 and 4 beds.
Yeah.
2 beds are okay, but 3 and 4 beds would be ideal. In those sort of a little bit quieter areas than the city centre.
Yeah. 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 I think the numbers work out better, isn't it? Unless you can get the two bed into a three.
Yeah, if you can get the
Uh,
2 bed into a three and there's an extra front room there, then great.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I do think we're getting so many messages from Booking.com people because it's summer now.
Mm,
So I'm sure it will work like that as a 2 bed, but I would prefer for you to have the option of 3 rooms
mm,
and having it on nightly stays as well, rather than just having to do it as an Airbnb. I'd like you to have those 2 options, and I
yeah.
guess that only is going to happen if there's that extra room either downstairs or upstairs.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. Of course. Of course. But no. Yeah, no, it sounds decent, mate. I'll definitely keep you updated, and I
Yeah,
know it's gonna chuck us off it's gonna chuck us off in a second, and
that's all right. I've got a couple minutes.
but I so I'll crack on with that. But I've been enjoying the videos as well, mate. To be fair, you've been
Yeah,
smashing the videos, haven't you?
yeah. I mean, that's all I do now, mate.
Yeah,
That's all I do is just make these videos now, and I'm trying to just get inside you guys' heads and think like, what would I like to see, 7 years ago? What's going to really help them? What's going to push them along? And I
mm,
just think having a clear process of what you need to do and maybe removing what isn't working and just focusing on what is working is what's going to
mm,
get you there quicker.
yeah,
And just having that mindset of an entrepreneur where there's going to be problems all the time, there's going to be hurdles, but you just have to keep going. You're 10 weeks into the
mm,
journey, bro. It's so early, and
yeah,
telling you from someone who's been doing it for 7 years, there's always going to be problems, there's always going to be some sort of obstacle. But
yeah,
all that happens is you just get better and better at it, and you're able to maneuver and be like water and be able to just wriggle
yeah,
wriggle
yeah,
around the
yeah.
problems better.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I feel like I really want to try and get me first deal as soon as possible.
Yeah,
So I've got that time to grow and
yeah,
learn
yeah,
through the mistakes
yeah.
that I inevitably make through
Yeah,
that one.
yeah. I
Uh,
think you're ready to do that now. I think you've done enough outreach, to be honest with you. I think,
yeah, yeah,
another few weeks of outreach, I think we should have a deal on our hands, really.
yeah, yeah.
And then there'll be some more problems for you to handle.
Well,
But
exactly, exactly.
I'll
We've
be
got
able
ways
to
to fix
coach you.
problems.
I'll be able to coach you through that process as well, and it'll be a nice feeling when we feel it. And then you got some money coming in, and then you can say, all right, yeah, I've done it now. Let me go and get another one.
I know that's it, innit, mate. That's it. But no, thanks for the insight, mate. And I think sometimes it's just you don't see the end result, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's like when
yeah,
and when where I'm at. But I
yeah.
feel that's why I just need to get that
Yeah,
first
you
one.
you can't see it because you're in it. You're in the
Uh,
mix of it. But
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
looking at you from when I first spoke to you to now, and I
yeah,
can see that you have grown a lot along this process,
yeah, yeah.
and I can
No, I
see
appreciate
that
it.
you've learned a lot. And I wouldn't just be saying to you, I think you're getting close for the sake of it, because there's some people on the program who aren't getting close, and
Uh, yeah,
I'm having different conversations with them because they haven't
uh,
even gone and viewed anywhere yet, and then they're going to wonder why they haven't got any results. That isn't a problem with you. I'm very happy with your
uh,
progress. I think you understand it really well. All I think we need to improve on is next time there is an opportunity there, I think we've got to
we
close on
take it.
it. Yeah.
I think we need to close on it. Is
That's
right,
the
mate. Yeah,
only that's the only criticism I could have, and it's a constructive one. And I think that
yeah,
next one that
yeah,
comes along, we'll close on it quicker. And whether that means we've got to jump on a call quickly or speak more on WhatsApp, we could do whatever
yeah.
we got to do, but we just got to close quicker, bro.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Sounds good. Sounds exactly where I feel like where I'm at as well,
Yeah,
mate. So
yeah, good.